Yo, vlog time. How's it going? Dan here, absolutely tired after my ridiculous session. I think I didn't sleep for 23 hours yesterday after meeting up with everybody at the gala. We had a bit of a GNF reunion, as you mentioned. I ended up busting in the tournament 17th out of 40 something when some absolute retard decided on the turn with one card to come, he'd get his whole stack with the 10 high flush draw against my 2 pair. He obviously won, final table it, and cashed. Well done him, fair play. So while Phil was at the final table, I decided I'd sit down at the cash table with £50, which I'd won spinning up on roulette, which was pretty funny. So we sat down, we've got a real good table draw, lots of awful players, and the guy to my left is actually pretty good. A young kid called Finn from the Bristol meetup. He goes occasionally, real well played in a couple of times. He's pretty handy and knows what he's doing, so I'm glad I got position on him. As the night wore on, not a great deal happened. I felt I was playing in the groove really good. Against Finn, I made a lovely hand. I played 3-2 beautifully against him. I called his raise pre, check raised the flop, in which he called, and then I led out the turn for quite a big pot with 3 high and showed it. I kind of built up an image with him. I chatted a bit about hands and stuff, so he knew I knew what I was doing. Basically, I mean I could take advantage later on in the hand that I'll talk about in a minute. And there's another fish to my left that just played every hand. Took him to Value Town once with quad kings, in which he called me every street for like a 120 quid pot. And the other one was, I called him off a massive £40 bluff on the little bottom pair, no kicker and no draw. But I was in front, which was good. The hand in question was really interesting because it'd been playing quite a lot like a 1-2 game. It was being straddled every time I was at pound, and then lots of like crazy bet raises. Some people were raising to £2, and then other people were raising to £8. And the hand was straddled. I can't remember if there's a call or two in between or not. But in early position, this young kiddie to my right, Finn, he raises to 8 quid. I look down at King 3 of spades and decide I'm just going to call in position and outplay the guy, which I'm pretty fancy I can do. And he was about one of the only other guys with a lot of money on the table, so I kind of wanted to get into pots with him in position because I fancied being able to win a big hand. Everybody else folds. The big blind might have made up or not, I can't quite remember now, but the flop came 5-8 king rainbow, so I've hit top pair, no kicker, but it's a real dry board. I'm pretty sure then the big blind checks. Finn leaves up 13 quid into like a 17, £20 pot. I decide that with such a dry board, if I raise here, I'm probably taking the hand down 60% of the time. So decide to raise to £30. The big blind calls. The big blind folds, and then it's back down to Finn on my right, who insta-shoves, puts me all in. Now, I sat there for ages thinking this hand out, and I was like, well, in my opinion, he knows I can bluff off my stack. He thinks I'm good enough at bluffing off my stack. So if he's strong, he'd smooth call. The board is so dry. I mean, if he's got a set, he's flat calling my raise every time, building the pot to get it all in on the turn. He knows I'm liable to bluff off, or at least he thinks I am. If he's got a King X hand, I'm pretty sure he folds there because he doesn't want to get into a massive pot out of position with me. So I figured he must have some sort of marginal hand that he thinks I can fold a king too. So I kind of ran it through my head. Figured there's no real hands that beat me, that he'd insta-shove. And it just looked so weak. So I called with King 3. I said to him, you got 10s, jacks? And he shows me 10s. Turn was a 3 just to kind of add insult to injury. River was blank. And that doubled me up there. But as I said, I spoke to a couple of people. One person said, oh, that was an absolutely amazing play, good thinking, good logic behind it. Which, that's kind of what I thought. One person told me it was an absolute retard play. So, post up on here. Obviously, you're reading the blog anyway. Let me know what you think. Not just, oh, you had King 3, you're a muppet, because that's irrelevant to the story, really. What's interesting is kind of the thought process behind it. So, yeah, have a post. And that Phil come third in the tournament. Well done, Phil. Hero status awarded. Scroat went off to Vegas, lucky bastard. Fez won a couple of £100 on roulette, must be nice. And Matt got very drunk. But yeah, so that's my post. I got in at 6:15 in the morning. I had about 2 hours sleep and then went to work. So I'm going to bed in a minute because I am shattered. Anyway, ta-ta for now. All the best. Bye-bye.